We are live for a little Sstc Short Track Championship Series Monday Masters of Dirt here at the Eldora Speedway, and this is the final race here of Season 1 on the dirt side. They're going to race one more time here Wednesday, and as always, we'll do that replay on Saturday. But this is going to be the last live one of the season. Let's see who's going to bring this one home. A little over 4 minutes left in practice, so I probably, won't jaw this whole time. Some stuff I'll try to maneuver around in the background, but, if I'm here ready, might as well fire it up. Let's get in here. Show you, of course, who we're watching here. Quinn McLean. Blackjack, as we've been calling him this season there in the 21. 54 of Chris Farmer. Back to another Chris here. We got Chris Reinhold out here in this session out on the racetrack as well. And I believe we showed Rob. Yeah, we showed Rob. Who's out there in session 1? Keith, he wants to join the party here. Keith Kincaid, the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, pulling out on the racetrack. He's currently your fastest time here in warm-ups with a 15.19. Hop over there to the second group. Got a couple guys out here. Richard Parks in the 113. E squared in front of him. Bob Belshaw running around in that 44. Dave Brill in the 88 machine. Sean McLean here in the double deuce. Benjamin Gunther out here in the double nickel machine. Is a little bit of time here before we go racing. You got to think, you're going to have to keep an eye out on this guy here qualifying tonight. He's been the man on the dirt side of things. Well, frankly, he's kind of been the man on the asphalt side of things. Hasn't come as easy for Keith Kincaid, but all in all, showing why he is, where he is in the points, very consistent. And I believe after we talked to Keith on Saturday, he was mentioning how, he could use these last two races as his drop weeks and still bring home the championship. So, and I see a couple people tuning in there on my side, not necessarily on the Sstc side, but this is the league that anybody, if you're over the age of 55, I think. Maybe it's 50 in here, but I think 55. You can run in this league. They run dirt on Monday nights. Wednesday night, they run asphalt. Short track pro late models. They may be the supers. I don't know, to tell you the truth. But asphalt late models. It's a nice little mix. As we get down to that minute left to go here in practice, hop over back to that other room. It's right around with Richard Parks here. I think they'll reset the racetrack, though, from what it is right now. So track will change here when we go into qualifying. Which, in my opinion, may make passing a little harder here when they go and reset this thing, but to each their own. It definitely won't handle, or it's going to handle better, I should say, but if you have a guy coming out of the slick there like Richard was, hammer down, that's your chance to kind of make up ground. You can see how much smoother there the 17 was of Keith Kincaid. You got to go up there. You got to find the cushion. Got to slowly roll back into that throttle, let it grab, and That's what you're going to be looking here throughout the night, and we'll see the checkered flag wave on practice. We'll get ready to go into qualifying here at the Eldora Speedway. Not too sure who normally comes out first here. You know, there's some other leagues where it's always the same guy coming out first every time, but we've been rotating a little bit over here. Always a guessing game on who's going to go out there and put their lap in first. It might be the newcomer here. New to me, anyway. Richard may have raced a couple times, and I'm sorry, Richard, if you have, but I do not recognize that paint scheme. I feel like I would. It's a beautiful looking ride. Richard Parks here going to come to the start line here for lap number 1, and maybe lifting out there, and that's what tightened up the race car. On a fresh racetrack like this, you're not going to come out of that throttle. You want to get a little lower to that inside wall. So this may not be the lap here that Parks is looking for. He's going to come across a 15.93 as we'll start to get other laps here. 15.59 for B squared. But Chris Farmer with a 15.48 gets that shattered by Scott Tyson, the 24 machine, with a 15.27. Scott Tice not going to play nice here in qualifying, unleashing the speed here. Purple through sector 1. He's going to improve lap 2. Scott Tice does a full 1/10 of a second. 15.16 for the 24 of Scott Tice is Joe Canella's lap number 1. He comes P2 with a 15.26. Can he find more here on this second lap? Joe slower through sector 1. Quicker, though, through sector 2. What's the lap time look like? Not going to change there for Joe. Currently still P2 is Keith Kincaid. Pulls the Flamin' Hot Cheeto machine out to play. Drives it into turn 1. Keith Kincaid looking good here on the opening lap. Floats as close as he can to that wall without touching it. There you go. You see, moves down to towards the bottom of the racetrack. That's, I think, where you want to be. Lap time for Keith Kincaid, P2 with a 15.18. Quicker through sector 1. Can he improve final time around? Keith Kincaid slower through sector 2. Not going to improve. Going to stay P2. It's 13 of your 14 drivers qualify. Tim Chapman probably going to just go with the start from the back here, I'd assume, if he hasn't qualified yet. Actually, you know, I like to pull that away now so I can cheat and, you know, just pop the grid straight up. But we'll leave this up here. So we have kind of a timer. You guys will know when we're going to be coming back here. I imagine, you know, they'll let these guys maybe turn the wrenches, run to the bathroom here real quick. So I'm going to mute myself for about a minute or so, or until we get rolled over to the heat races. So stick around here. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. They're doing the advance now. There we go. See, all I have to do is talk about it. You can see, change the white there up top. That's the giveaway for me. We'll have 2 heat races. Let's take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 1. Running out the field, the double deuce of Sean McLean. Row 3 to the outside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. To the inside, the 21 of Blackjack, Quinn McLean. Row 2 to the outside, the 113 of Richard Parks. To the inside, the 27 of Michael Lemanchik. Row 1 for heat race number 1. To the high side, the 1K of Joe Canella's. And starting on the pole, the 2-4 of Scott Tice. My apologies there. Trying to find my reset button. Now we're going to do it on my side there. We'll get ready to watch these guys go play. around the Big E here. Winner will start on the pole for tonight's A main. The pace truck should go around one more time. There we go. I was pretty sure. We weren't a one pace lap here at the Knoxville Raceway, but I couldn't remember. Now we know for sure lights are off. The pace truck will pull in this time by, and Scott Tice gonna be set to drop the hammer as we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. Scott Tice leads us to the green flag. Heat race number 1 is underway. You want that bottom, and Scott showed that with a good run there through 1 and 2. Takes the early lead. Joe Canellas, for the moment, trying to hold on to P2. Not sure if he's going to be able to. Got the 27 of Michael Lemanchik taking a peek to the inside here. The 2-7 trying to make a run. He peeks to the bottom here through 3 and 4. You can see battles heating up around the racetrack. Quinn McLean trying to hold off that 3 wide behind him. You saw Rob Cassidy almost get the nose taken off. And that 68 machine had to lift out of the throttle. Or he would have been picking pieces up out of the infield here as he lives the race another day. Scott Tice leads the way. 6 laps to play this time by as Joe Canellas losing touch there with your leader. Now he's going to be feeling it here for P3 coming up. And apparently my TV still does not want to work. Let's see if it actually rotates here. It does, but it's way ahead. Why is it doing that? We'll have to adjust that at warm-ups. As Joe Canellas rips the outside, bounces it off the wall. You see Scott Tice coming to the line. 4 laps to go, 1.3 second lead for the 24. And Michael Lemanchik suffers some trouble. He goes down pit road. Sean McLean here really in the only battle on the racetrack, trying to take a peek under Richard Parks. This is the battle for 4th. 3 laps to go. Let's ride on board here with the 22 machine. Richard Parks sees 2 sticks in the air, 2 laps to go, and Joe Canellas gets in the outside wall, the 1K. Heavily damaged there on the front end, gets in the wall as he enters turn 1 with 2 to go. Now what you needed if you're Joe Canellas, but Scott Tice, man, he is going to clean up here now. 4.5 seconds out front. Checkered flag waves. Scott Tice wins heat race number 1. P2 going to be Quinn McLean, Richard Parks, Sean McLean, Rob Cassidy, Joe Canellas, and Michael Lemanchik. See here, we'll get ready to take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 2. And there we go. Tim Chapman rounds out the field in the 37 machine. Row 3 to the outside, the 55 of Benjamin Gunther. To the inside, the 44 of Bob Belshaw. Row 2 to the outside, the 54 of Chris Farmer. To the inside, the 71 of Chris Reinhold. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Winner will start on the outside of the front row for tonight's A main. To the outside, the 88 of Dave Brill. And starting on the pole, the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, the 17 of Keith Kincaid. Just don't adjust your eyes. It's that dang overlay again. We'll reset it for you, reset it for me. And we'll watch these guys go dance there at the Eldora Speedway. I love that, too. You notice, maybe you don't even notice, but sometimes when I refresh it, I'm not sure when and if my logo will ever decide to pop back up in that window. For you guys on my screen, it's there. But I've never understood that. It's just gonna black out for now. That's where I need to rig up, just drag one over there, insert it. As the pace truck pulls off the green flag, set the wave. 10 laps to play at the Big E. Heat race number 2 is underway. Good jump for Keith Kincaid. Dave Brill able to hold on to P2 for the moment, but the battle on for third here, well, not really there. Chris Reinold able to get in front of the Farmer. Now Chris Farmer feeling the pressure from B squared here. Bob Belshaw taking a peek on the bottom, coming out of 4, but couldn't do it. Track just so fast right now, so much grip that guy in front of you really going to have to make a big mistake if you want to wheel that thing around. And I would not expect this 17 to make a mistake. Hasn't done it all season. Why would he now? I mean, he mentioned he fired his crew chief. He's done with the terrible pitch strategy. And if he can just keep this thing up towards the front, it's going to be an easy night here for Keith Kincaid, as Dave Brill like to make it a little harder here as he rolls through 1 and 2. 6 laps to go this time by as they roll off of 4. We'll see here if I can't manually do a little still cameras. Just can't get enough of these things. Battle is heating up for third there as you see Chris Farmer kind of reeling in that 71. Not really close enough to make the move here, but as the high side starts to come in, the 54 may be in the preferred line, but it's just not there yet. Going to need about 4 or 5 more laps, and that's not what the 54 wants to hear, but that's just the reality of the situation. You're going to need to go to the bottom here, kind of throw that short slider, if anything, just driving up that high so early. I mean, he's putting in work for the later rounds here. That's going to help him in the feature. But right now, not really going to help the man, as Farmer back to the outside, such a long way around 4. But Reinold leaves him a run, and he says, Shaggy, said 4 or 5. It only took me 2 or 3 here. He gets the run on the outside, but now he gets in the wall. Still able to hold on as Keith Kincaid comes around for the final time. White flag waves, 1 lap to go. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto looking to start on the outside of the front row here for tonight's A main. If he could just get through 3 and 4 smooth, it looks like he will. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto going to win heat race number 2, followed by Dave Brill, Chris Reinold, Chris Farmer, Bob Belshaw, Benjamin Gunther, and Timothy Chapman. I guess I could leave that up for you here, but now's where I mute myself, get a drink, and we'll be right back here once warm-ups are closed and we go feature racing. Stick around here on Shaggy TV. Oh, there we go. Had to delete and repaste it to get that logo to come back. And with 30 seconds to go. So, there we go. Didn't think it would take me that long to figure it out, but it did. And just in time here, too, because we are about to go racing here at the Big E. So, get ready. We got feature lineups here coming up. See here as we'll see the checkered flag wave, warm-ups come to a close, and see if we can't bring up that starting lineup here for the Sstc Short Track Championship Series. Rounding out the field, row 7 to the outside, the 37 of Tim Chapman to the inside, the 27 of Michael Lemanchik. Row 6 to the outside, the 55 of Benjamin Gunther to the inside, the 1 of Joe Canellas. Row 5 to the outside, the 44 of Bob Belshaw to the inside, the boss man in the 68, Rob Cassidy. Row 4 to the outside, the 54 of Chris Farmer to the inside, the double deuce of Sean McLean. Row 3 to the high side, the 71 of Chris Reinold to the inside, the 113 of Richard Parks. Row 2 to the outside, the 88 of Dave Brill to the inside, the 21 of Blackjack Quinn McLean. Row 1 for your Sstc Short Track Championship Series at the Eldora Speedway. To the high side, the 17 of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, Keith Kincaid. And starting on the pole, the 24 of Scott Tice. We'll go around here one more time before we get ready to go play here. 35 laps at the Eldora Speedway. That's a long time, man. This is a big racetrack. So, you know, hopefully you got that drink refilled. You buckle in. It could get rough out here. We'll see what happens. The drivers play nice as Scott Tice gets set to bring us to the green flag. 35 laps to play in the clay at the Eldora Speedway. Your feature is underway. Good jump there for Tice on the bottom as you see the guys kind of battling back behind 2 by 2 by 2 as Chris Farmer finally draws to the outside there, the double deuce. And now the 22 gets a little loose here, almost goes around. We had a caution there, turn 1, I believe. Couldn't tell what happened. Let's see here. I think it happens in front of Lemanchik. But not really going to know here till we go, well, it did happen in front, but it was off the nose of that 27. Gets into the back of the 1K. See the 37. He's going to collect a little piece of it as he tries to lock her down. But 4 guys involved there in the opening scrum through turn 1. And if you're Joe Canellas, you're definitely not going to be too happy about that. A little too early, you know, to be racing real hard. But, I mean, I doubt that's a, you know, intentional move there. But going to have to learn where guys are lifting, where some guys possibly dragging the brakes even to run the bottom here. So, going to have to play nice here these first couple laps, kind of figure out where everybody's moving and grooving. As the lights go back off on the pace truck, we'll go back green this time by, as you see the 24 of Scott Tice on the inside. Keith Kincaid pulls as close as he can here, trying to get that run right next to the 24 as Scott Tice drops the hammer. We're back underway at the Eldora Speedway. Right there, it had laps counting. Not too sure if, we'll get an update here in a couple laps. But from what I'm seeing, the laps are counting on my ticker. We'll see if this goes to 6 or if this kind of resets here. And it is doing the reset. It'll go backwards here. We'll get our correct lap pretty soon, as Keith Kincaid knows he may not get a lot of green flag laps. If you're there, you got to go for it. Keith trying to keep the 24 right off the nose there, that flaming hot Cheeto machine. We're mixing it up behind Farmer and Reinhold here. Right behind them, that's Quinn and Parks. Richard trying to go to the outside. McLean, Rob Cassidy trying to get involved as well. That 68. Oh, big slider there from the 1K. Bobby in the outside wall, I believe. Bob Belshaw. Lots of damage there to the right front of that 44 machine. I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to get it off the racetrack. Oh, not going to be able to get to the inside, but he does get the caution flag, and I believe the caution flag for a totally unrelated reason here. No, okay. Not unrelated. So, yep, it didn't like him going slow here, from what I understand, unless possibly Michael Lemanchik here. Okay, so there was something that involved the 27 as well. All right. So this is on the entrance here to 3. See Tim Chapman up on the outside. Benjamin Gunther there running the middle. Runs the cut down. Lemanchik, he was there. Tightens up when he gets back on the throttle. Goes up, shoots it in the outside wall. On the right front brakes. Caution flag got to fly. Leader's coming. This is what I meant here. If you were Keith Kincaid, when you get a couple green flag laps, you don't know. I mean, eventually we'll hit the attrition limit here, and we'll get the longer green flag run. But you don't want to be that guy, playing backup here. You'd rather be out front leading, doing it at your own pace, and that's what Scott Tice gets to do right now. They double up here, should be going back racing this time as the lights are off on the pace car. Or pace truck, if we're going to be correct here. As the guys touch a little bit there, get ready to enter turn 3. We'll see when Scott Tice drops that hammer as the pace truck pulls off. We're back underway at the Eldora Speedway. Scott Tice going a little later than he did there in the opener. Keep the guys guessing behind, and immediately Dave Brill having to play defense. Reinhold on the bottom, Farmer behind in the middle. As we're 2-3 wide here in the back. This guy's just trying to stay away from the yellow flag coming out. Oh, man. Couldn't stay away for too long here as both the McLeans go around. See if we can figure out what happened to these guys. It's heavy damage for the both. 22, definitely. I mean, he's up there. Car high. May not know if you're the 21, but I mean, he's there. At this point, maybe that back wheel, maybe, you want to lift out just to survive. But I mean, when you get the contact bounced up into the outside wall, there's nothing you can do there. I assume there would be relation. We've probably had this question before, but I've come across so many fathers, sons, brothers in here. But I would assume the McLean's related, being 21 and 22 numbers. So it might get a little awkward here when we go to family dinner. Should get the one to go here this time by, and if these guys keep misbehaving here, and we have a caution flag real soon, we're gonna be pulling a driver down there and that poof up under caution to help save me a little bit. Well, I've got faith. Got faith. We're gonna get that long green flag run coming here. We're gonna give these front two a chance to battle it out here at the Eldora Speedway. Keith trying to inch right beside, that way he can time that jump as soon as he sees that 24 snap. Which is right now. Green flag waves. We're back underway. We're on lap 9 this time. Had 3 cautions already. So the boys getting rough and rowdy here early. The 88 and the 54 make contact going down the backstretch. And man, oh man, no chill from these guys here in the early going. These restarts and re-racking them, it just makes you, man, it makes you seethe at the mouth. You know, you just want that thing. I mean, you are just rabid trying to go eat. And right now, the 24, he's the one eating. The 17, lucky to pick up some scraps right now as he's falling back to half a second here. Here's some guys, thought I heard with that dirt sound, I thought I heard some guys getting sideways. But false alarm is Chris Reinold. He needs this, though. I did hear somebody getting a little sideways. And the 37 of Tim Chapman in the outside wall. So I've got the broadcaster ear now. It's all but trained. I hear that car sliding sideways on the dirt, so that is what I heard. This is another one, definitely car high. It looked like Tim kind of coming down a little bit, though, in the 37. You see it snapped up, and the 21 going to rotate up the racetrack, and they just meet there. And, well, definitely nothing intentional by either one, but, you know, running in the back when we get a little bit loose there, we just live to race another day. But that's, you know, product of just contact. These things tighten up and you can't really yank them off each other, and you ride straight into the outside wall. And under caution here for the 4th time, and about 11 laps. So like I say, guys, not playing nice here in the early going, and it's gonna be tough to get passing done up front at this rate with the constant restart. So we'll have to see here if we can smooth this thing out, try to bring it home with a long green flag run. That definitely, you know, is not a shot at anybody, you know, having trouble, but they've all been that car up front running in second when you need green flag laps to go up here and hunt. You know, you're just marred by the caution bug. They just won't stop. It's always worse, you know, when you're running up there, like say in the top 5, and you're not seeing those guys wreck in front of you. It's happening in the mirror as the green flag waves back underway. Scott Tice had a rough start there, got to the inside, excuse me, of Keith Kincaid there as he floated up the racetrack, and it almost allowed Reinold to make a move through 1 and 2, but now he loses the spot to Dave Brill as Dave, he's got the horses wrangled up, but Keith Kincaid to the lead for a short moment as he thinks about a do-si-do crossover through 3 and 4, beating and banging for 3rd. Chris Reinold in the outside wall, and we're going to have another one park it here for a caution. And every 2 or 3 laps tonight, it seems like that's what we're going to get here at the Eldora Speedway. So try and break this down here. So you can see there, throws the slide job. Dave gets underneath, and He didn't leave him a lot of room, but I mean, you know, you get the slide job thrown on you, you got to try to counter back. You're not required to leave a bunch of room, and it's kind of, you know, 71 sees the 88 coming back underneath, and if I can slow this down one more time, right, so you can see it starts to get shiny right there, and he's on the throttle, and you can see the rear end snaps out, left front comes down, kind of catches the 88. There, right front tire broke hard into the outside wall. Caution flag gonna fly. Also had another one. We'll go back. Okay, so Richard Parks had heavy damage as well. How did this happen? So either way, we were going to get a caution there. It just comes across the nose of the 68. Cassidy at that point can't do anything. Just so late coming out of the corner, he can't really react to that. As the green flag waves were back underway, 20 laps to play. Only 15 laps in the books here so far. I told you, buckle up, could be a long one, and this guy's still racing pretty hard in the back. Already 3 wide here on the restart. We'll see what this equals out to. Oh, boy. Oh, they all lived to survive there, but that looked like it was going to be sketchy. Couldn't tell what happened there, but 55 definitely had to lift up off, and he looks tightened up there. Maybe a little right front damage possibly there before the caution came out because we didn't see him make contact with anyone. But that thing definitely looking snug. Doesn't want to handle the way it should. As Chris Farmer moves himself up inside the top 3. He got back around Dave Brill. And now he's looking to the outside here. Top is coming in. The choo-choo train rolling up there in the 54. Can we get a long enough run here for him to build up some steam and maybe make a move? Keith Kincaid, he got the memo here. He sees the flag man on the inside telling him to get that damn thing up to the top side. He goes up there, going to try to break the momentum away from the 54. Slider line quicker right now through 3 and 4, shorter way around, but up top 1 and 2. Chris Farmer's making it look good right now as the caution flag waves one more time here. Couldn't tell what happened here. Possibly it was the 30, so that happens. You come to a stop there coming out off a pit road. If you stop right after that cone, you can see it'll be simultaneous. Inches out here, sees those guys coming. Stops there. Then you'll hear them all slow down. So yellow flag waves there. That's tough for Chris Farmer, man. He is probably not going to be too pumped about that. Finally gets the outside going, and, well, 6th caution flag of the evening here is we're just over the halfway point. All right, so I wanted to pull up time there. Time won't be an issue. I was worried about time starting to become an issue there in the session. It looks like everything will be okay there with time as well. 14 laps to go. This time by green flag waves. We're back underway. Contact between the 24 and the 17 allows Farmer to get a big run there on the bottom. Keith Kincaid trying to swing back. Send the slide job up. Incoming. Chris Farmer back to the bottom. Battle on for second. The 54 throwing the slide job. Keith Kincaid cuts back underneath. Got the preferred line here as he enters 3. He's going to be able to hold back on the P2. Now, he's got to go, man. You don't know how long this is going to last here. You got to go while you have some green flag laps. Got to go try to eat here. And Scott Tice, he is just going to try to hold them off here as the yellow flag waves one more time. We'll see what happens here. Guys in the back here. Michael just maybe hits the brakes or gasses it up a little too hard on the outside. It goes around and the caution flag waves here for, I believe, the 7th time. Definitely lots and lots of yellows here being displayed tonight. You're still out there tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been eventful here, to say the least. As when we go back racing here, should have 11 laps to go. I think they just doubled them up here. There we go. Yeah, I was too late on that starter camera. Doubled them up, going back racing here this time. I skipped the camera. Scott Tice looking to bring us back to the green flag here for the 8th time. Green flag waves. We're back underway at the Eldora Speedway. Almost 3 wide there for second. Dave Brill pushes up to the outside. He comes back down. McLean in the outside wall, and the double deuce here. Broken right front for the moment. Are we going to get another one here? He's going to pull it in and tow it. Going to play nice here. Let these leaders go run a little bit. That's the nice thing to do there for McLean. And I mean, you got to give these guys some play time here. I mean, you're basically, these top 3 or 4 are going to finish based off the heat races if you don't give them a little bit of race time. 8 laps to go this time by. And field kind of stringing out here a little bit. This isn't a battle for position. Neither is this. Bob Belshaw also a lap or 2 down. We shouldn't see those guys get too aggressive with each other. We don't see guys start battling here until 2nd and 3rd. That's Chris Farmer all over the back of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, Keith Kincaid. As Chris Farmer trying to build up steam on the outside, but he opened, he showed Keith that page of the playbook of maybe a little too early. He ran up to him on the outside, but couldn't get around, and now Keith knows it's quick, so he's got to go up there and dance a little bit. But he gets sideways there as he catches the slick coming off of 4. It's a little sideways there on entry, but Chris Farmer does a good job of lifting out there. Going to play nice. 4 laps to go at the Eldora Speedway. Scott Tice looking to lead this whole thing, but he's got 3.5 laps to go. Not going to be easy. 2 fast cars behind him. There's 3 to play this time by. But Chris Farmer looks to be setting up Keith Kincaid, and if these two keep racing. They're not going to be able to go up there and get it to 24 here as they roll through 3 and 4. 2 laps to go this time by. Chris Farmer trying to get him wound up on the outside here. He's going to jump up there one more time. 1 lap to play at the Eldora Speedway. Scott Tice has led this whole thing. And barring a mistake here through 3 and 4, he's going to lead all 35 laps here tonight. As the checkered flag waves, Scott Tice gets it done. For your dirt season finale, Keith Kincaid P2 and Chris Farmer rounds out your podium. So we'll see here. We'll give these guys a minute or two here to unwind, maybe collect their thoughts here. Get a chance to talk with Chris Farmer. We'll go ahead and bring him up here. I promise I didn't disappear or go anywhere. Just waiting for these guys to find their way up here. We'll give Chris another minute here. I got the other guys. All right. Well, you can't win them all. Not too sure where Scott Tice is, but not in the room, so we'll just. The show must go on, as they say. Or no, there we go. Now he hops up in there. Hey, Chris, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Lots of yellow tissues getting thrown out on the racetrack tonight, and it seemed like every single time, man, you'd build up a momentum or you'd build up run on that high side. I mean, yellow flag would just wave. How frustrating is that, knowing you probably had the pace of at least second place here tonight?
Well, I'm just happy to finally make it on the podium. I've missed it several times this year, and this is my first podium, I believe. So, yeah, the high line really did start working for me pretty well there. But yeah, Keith and them guys and Scott, and I'll be honest, I've been watching them and trying to figure out how to get as fast as they are, and I'm getting there, but I still got to find the consistency.
Yeah, but now how much, you say you're learning from those guys, and that's exactly what you need to do. I mean, how important is it then, that final green flag run? I mean, you get 10 or so laps to just run behind those guys, and, man, you're not just running behind them, you're reeling them in. I mean, does that boost the confidence? Does that help you out here as we roll into next season?
Yeah, it does. I try to be as clean a driver as I can, so I try to be easy on the amount of pressure that I put on, especially the leaders. So maybe I need to be a little more aggressive every now and then. I don't know, but yeah, but I try to be as clean as I can. So I think that hurts me sometimes as far as getting to the front of the pack. But I think watching Keith and Scott and Chris even, it's helped me a lot this year.
Now, well, you can tell, you seem comfortable. I mean, you were the first guy to really go upstairs and test that out and make it work. I mean, the fact that, you're feeling comfortable enough to experiment even, it shows that you've really improved a lot in this race car over the short season. Congratulations on a good P3 here, Chris. You got anybody you want to thank?
Just like to thank the wife for letting me do this stuff in the evenings, and that's about it. And I guess the league. I really enjoy this league here. This bunch of guys are really good fellers. So, and I appreciate you broadcasting.
Well, hey, appreciate it, Chris. It's fun watching you guys duke it out there. And a shame you didn't get that chance to go to P2. I'm telling you, man, you found the outside at the right time. And then, of course, caution flag flew. But it is what it is. Good run tonight. Can't wait to talk to you, man.
All right, thank you.
Chris Farmer bringing home P3. Couldn't find his way around this man. Keith, it seemed like, there was a little point in the race where you run down Scott, but, as well as I do, kept throwing that yellow handkerchief out there, lots of caution flags. And then towards the end, it seemed like Chris was so fast, man, that you almost had to play a little defense. You weren't able to really go at the lead those final couple laps. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I didn't have the car tonight. I don't know if the driver was off a little bit or just the track conditions, but yeah, halfway through there, I felt like I had something for Scott and was making up ground. I thought I had a good line, and like you said, those cautions just kept popping. It was hard to get back in rhythm after that.
Yeah, and I mean, I noticed obviously not easy there, but you and Scott make a little contact on the one restart, and you fell back to third there for a short moment. I mean, were you worried you weren't going to be able to get back around Chris? I mean, you guys traded sliders there for almost 3 laps. That was a lot of fun to watch, but man, you had to work hard to get it back.
Yeah, I was telling the guys I've never had to work so hard and pass so many cars running in second to finish second. It was a lot of fun, though. A lot of fun.
Well, I mean, this was the final dirt race of the season, and to cap it off with a P2, maybe not what you wanted, Keith, but man, we're one race away from hoisting that trophy. So congratulations here on a great run tonight and an even better season, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Thank you, Shaggy. Yeah, I want to thank all of our drivers this year. We've had the best group of drivers. It's just made it so interesting and so much fun. And I appreciate those guys coming out and racing week in and week out. And I hope we put on a good show for everyone.
A hell of a run, Keith. Can't wait to talk to you again, man. Good luck Wednesday.
Thank you, Shaggy.
Keith Kincaid bringing home P2. And now we're going to talk to the man who brought home the W here tonight, Scott Tice. Man, Scott, it was a long wait for you here. I mean, you led the whole way, but lots and lots of caution flags. I mean, what's going through your head? It can't be fun to have to nail all those restarts, man, lap after lap. I mean, you had to work tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but some of them worked out in my favor. Keith had me sized up. I was watching him, and he had me sized up, and the caution saved me. And if he'd have got around me, it would have been game over. It just, tonight was just my night.
Yeah, and Keith kind of, you say coulda, woulda, shoulda about that, but Keith kind of suffered the same fortunate luck there that you did. I mean, he had got passed by Farmer on the outside. I mean, he was getting a run, and then that caution flag came. That's kind of what showed him that outside. So was it kind of, monkey see, monkey do? I mean, you saw the speed coming. You had to go up there and kind of protect that second half.
Yeah, on that last restart, I ran about a groove up, tried to, I was going to make them work to get around me. They was going to have to really work to get around me, but what a fun race.
Yeah, man, I imagine. And to close out, lots of caution flags there in the beginning, but to come home with a nice 10-lap green flag run, that's what we needed there, man, to end the dirt season. And even better for you, ending on a win. Congratulations, Scott. You got anybody you want to thank?
Man, just want to thank, MRL, the Cenex guys. All these guys are just, awesome to race with, willing to help you on and off the track. I mean, just I love talking to these guys and racing with them. It's been really fun. And thank you again for what you're doing, man. It's awesome.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, Scott, but I appreciate you guys putting on that good racing, and it was another one tonight, man. Can't wait for next season. Good luck, brother.
All right. Thank you.
Scott Tice bringing home the win here to wrap up your Masters of the Monday Cenex Short Track Series dirt side of things. Like I say, they got an asphalt race Wednesday. We'll do that replay on Saturday. As long as I don't think I have any plans Saturday, so we're playing for Saturday morning as of now. But if you tuned in this long, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm Zach chatting with Shaggy TV, saying so long and have a good evening.